ready to get it on with our next bout. Light middleweights, 156-pound class. Lance Corporal Robert Allen for the U.S. Marines against Specialist Mark Lanton of the U.S. Army. As we go to the blue corner first, you will notice immediately that Lanton has a lot of experience. He's out of New York, has had almost 90 fights. He is 80-9. He's fighting out of Fort Rucker, Alabama. And that young man, Lance Corporal Robert Allen, from Terrebonne, Louisiana, fighting out of Camp Lejeune. Well, you get up into these higher weight classes, Martin Ortiz, and anything can happen.
That's right, Steve. These are the bigger fellas, and they pack a punch.
Robert Allen, in his first ever Armed Forces Boxing Championship, likewise his counterpart, Mark Lanton. Lanton in the gold, Allen in the red. And immediately, Robert Allen going to work.
Allen's a southpaw, Steve. We've been seeing a lot of southpaws here today.
Allen's got that left hand just cocked like he wants to explode with it. Hasn't really thrown it yet. Lanton being very cautious. Of course, now he moved toward the left hand of the southpaw, which is not what you want your guy to do.
When you fight a southpaw, Steve, you want to keep your lead foot outside his lead foot and make him reach with his power hand so you can counter. He's not doing that right now. He's moving into his power.
Neither fighter has thrown anything significant as of yet. Kind of feeding each other out here in the early going of round one. Allen looks very deliberate in his movements, Martin. He just takes these short steps and constantly moving forward.
He's stalking, Steve. He's stalking him very carefully.
Lanton, on the other hand, using as much lateral movement as he can to avoid what we are told is awfully strong punching power from Robert Allen. Still hadn't seen Allen throw that left hand, Martin.
Well, he threw it once earlier in the ring, Steve, and missed wildly, just like he did right there. He should be working more. He should be busy. Lanton has some good lateral movement. He needs to get busy as well. There's a nice left hand landed there. And another one. And another one.
Well, the punches are coming, but not in droves like they were in earlier fights. In fact, up until this point, this might have been the dullest action we've seen so far, but now it's picking up a little bit.
I think that Allen is finally finding his range, Steve.
That was a slip. A couple of good head shots by Allen. And gets Lanton on his bicycle again.
Some nice hooks by Allen there.
Well, he's double hooking with that hand, and it's really proven effective. There's another right hand shot by Lanton. Or check that by Allen. This is round one, light middleweights, 156-pound class. I think the referee'd like to see a little more action, too.
Well, Steve, it's a tribute to the referees here that you really hardly notice them. It just proves that they're doing a good job.
Again, Allen, you saw, getting a couple of right hands in on the left ear of Lanton. You know, something that we might have you do, Martin, is tell the folks, as round one comes to an end, we'll get you to do that in a moment. When we get the opportunity, you might tell the folks why they see the headgear on each and every one of these individuals who are fighting, as we look in the corner of Lance Corporal Robert Allen and listen in.
Force him the other way. Force him the other way. He's trying to come around this way. Force him. You're going to move that way. You're going to move that way. Am I right? Yeah, move to your right. He's trying to wear me down. Yeah, he's trying to. That's right. That's right. Deep breathe for me. Let him run now. I want you to back his butt up, okay? Back his butt up. Deep breathe, deep breathe. One more time.
Allen, effective and wild. Is the best way to describe that first round.
he's definitely putting power behind every punch, Steve. He was given some good advice in the corner by his coach, Roosevelt Sanders. He said to move to your right. That's a natural way for a left-hander to move. That's what he needs to do.
All right, here we go for round 2. Mark Lanton in the gold. He's fighting for the Army. Lance Corporal Robert Allen in the red, fighting for the U.S. Marine Corps.
I believe that was a slip, Steve.
Allen right there to come after him once he got up. You know, Allen is somewhat effective. He hasn't really had to fight a whole lot because Lanton isn't making him fight.
Exactly. Now, there's some nice jabs there. Not very many of them landed, but he's using the jab. He needs to be busy. Lanton needs to keep that jab working. Just like that. Now, he was told in this corner, and I'm talking about Allen, he was told to back his butt up. What he needs to do is to back the guy up, back him up in a straight line, and throw his combinations when he does.
Well, right now it's Lanton doing the stalking and Allen backing up. While we're watching the action in the ring, Mark, why don't you describe for our viewers why we see the headgears on?
Well, again, Steve, it goes right back to the safety of the boxer. These headgears are specially designed with 3 different types of closed cell foam to absorb the force of the blow. It doesn't mean that you don't get hurt. You can still get hurt in this game, but it does help somewhat. It is one more safety feature. And these headgears must comply with certain specifications as put down by the Amateur Boxing Federation.
And it is mandatory. You don't have the option of wearing it or not.
Absolutely, Steve. In the old days, back in the AAU days, it was optional. Nowadays, you have to wear them.
We're in round 2, a little more than a minute remaining. This is the light middleweight 156-pound class. To your left, Mark Lanton from the Army, and to your right, Lance Corporal Robert Allen of the Marines.
Lanton's starting to land that jab, Steve. He's starting to be effective with the jab, but Allen is still landing the bigger shots, and he's landing just a few more punches. Well, Lanton's coming on now.
Allen trying to hold a little bit. In fact, he is holding, and I'm sure will.
And he got a second caution for holding, Steve. If he gets one more caution for that same infraction, he can lose a point.
You know, another thing we ought to do right here as we watch this fight, you might go over again the Olympic rules, how these fights are scored. It's not by the strength of the punch, but the effective punches, period.
Right. You have to land an effective punch. You have to land it with the white part of the knuckle. It has to land flush with the scoring part of the body. And the scoring part of the body is an imaginary line going across the ear, down the hip, down to the waistline. Anything in front of that imaginary line is fair game and legal for scoring.
All right, there's the end of round 2 as we see Lanton take a seat. We were in the corner of Robert Allen a moment ago.
I'd like to announce that we have with us here this evening Javier Alvarez, a 2-time national heavyweight champion, former Air Force veteran. He is standing
Whenever you let your right hand go, you catch it, but you gotta let it go more than what you're letting it go.
Worldwide.
Throw the right hand straight down the pipe, come back with the left hook. He can't take pressure. You gassing, man. He can't take the pressure. Throw the right hand straight down the pipe, come back with the left hook. Stay right on him. He gonna hold you. We need every point we can get. Let him get disqualified. He can't take the pressure. Right hand, left hook. Right hand, left hook. Right on him. Every time you throw your right hand, you hit him.
Well, as we come back to the action, let's watch the jabbing power of Lanton and whether or not it's effective enough.
Well, there he's landing a couple of jabs, Steve, but he landed one. He just pawed with some of the others. You need to land good, effective jabs. You need to land them cleanly and effectively.
And, of course, gave Allen the opportunity to finish up the round with that right hand we saw. Back to live action. And they're getting after it a little bit better now here in round 3.
I think they want it now, Steve. Both of them are going after it. They want this fight, and they realize that the outcome of the fight hinges on this last round.
Well, they're both going at it. Lanton with a couple of good shots.
Allen just landed a nice left hand.
Just say the Marine coming back. know, these guys are in there. I mean, you've got 3 minutes to fight for the Armed Forces Boxing Championship in the weight division.
There's a good hook.
They want to give it to Morrell.
Excuse me, Steve. There's a good hook landed by Allen there. He's fighting in flurries now, but you can tell that he is tired.
Lanton came back and really connected to the left side or the right side of Allen's jaw. And I thought that really hurt him. I thought Lanton had come up with a couple of real effective shots there.
Allen is holding, and I believe they're going to take a point away. Yes, Steve. Steve, they just took a point away from Allen. That could make all the difference in this fight. It could make all the difference in the world. He's going to have to really work now. He's going to have to really work.
Because of the fact it is such a close fight, or at least would appear to be.
Well, the funny thing about taking a point away, Steve, is that if you win the round and you have a point taken away from you, what happens is your opponent gets that point they should have taken away from you. So you can still basically win the round. Instead of a 2019 round, for instance, if they take a point away from the guy that got the 20, it then becomes a 20-20 round.
Allen continuing to charge after having had the point taken away. Perhaps he feels he needs to set the situation up where the referee stops the contest.
He's extremely fatigued, Steve, and he's just fighting on guts alone right now.
Oh, there was a good left by Lanton.
Lanton's doing a good job.
Oh, another left, and a right, and another left. And Allen is dazed and will take the standing 8.
Steve, if he doesn't get off those ropes and put his hands up, the referee could stop the fight.
Well, Allen still looks shook. That's going to be it.
No, Steve, it's another 8 count, Steve.
Oh, another 8 count, okay. Boy, Allen just looks completely worn out.
He's spent, Steve. One more 8 count, and they're going to stop the fight. He's got Hartley, Steve. He's in there. He's trying to fight back. They stopped the fight, Steve.
As well they should have, although I think the clock shows that we had about 3 seconds left in the fight.
Well, Steve, the referee doesn't know how much time is left on the clock. The referee has to stop the fight when he thinks there could be a chance of some injury to the fighter. He was in dire straits. The referee did a good job. Allen, maybe one more punch could have hurt him real bad, so the referee did a good job.
In fact, I was somewhat surprised when they called the standing 8 the second time, because at least from where we were, it looked like Allen was definitely bleary-eyed and wondering where he was. And I think you'd have to say it was just a matter of being swarmed by a buzzsaw that did Allen in. Let's look at that first standing 8 count, and we'll show you what we mean. Allen being attended to, and then Lanton. Now here's the replay. First standing 8.
Well, that was a good right hand he landed right off the bat. That was a good hook he landed there. And he's working. And he hurt him. He hurt him with that punch. That series of punches hurt him. Referee stepped right in.
A couple of really devastating left hooks, but I thought the first one set everything up, and then that second one was just an explosion. And
that first one drove him back to the rope, Steve, and seemed to have hurt him the most.
And obviously, Lance Corporal Robert Allen, not a happy camper right now.
You know, Steve, part of the problem I think that Allen had was every punch he threw was a home run punch, and he missed a lot of punches the first round, a round and a half. Let's take a look at that second 8 count right off the bat. A beautiful right hand, another left hand. And the referee stepped right in. Now, as I was saying earlier, Steve, he wasted a lot of energy.
Back there.
2 minutes and 55 seconds of the 3rd round. The winner, Mark Lanton.
So chalk another one up for the Army. And there's your winner, Mark Lanton. Robert Allen was taken out of the ring. There's General Smith, the commander of the base here at Kelly Air Force Base. And now, so far, Martin, the Army has won 3 Armed Forces championships. the Navy 2, the Marines 2, and the Air Force 1. Here's where the stop of this bout came, with about 3 to 5 seconds left.
The referee intervened, Steve, just when he thought he should have. There was absolutely no knowledge, I guess, of how much time was